This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, everybody. This is Dr. Doug Smith. It's 2:30. It's time for our Monday through Thursday 2:30 podcast. This is a podcast where you will hear the truth about what actually happened to you and others during this opioid crisis. As you guys hear me talk every day, I'm on chapter 8. I am on chapter 8. It's actually laid out here in front of me. I'm on chapter 8 of the book, 8 of 9 chapters. I'm close, and then we go through the editing process. Uh, Alex and I will probably do the first rendition of the editing. It's just be me and Alex, and then he and I will do our best to get the graphics properly positioned. It's a learning curve, but pretty much everything that Alex has undertaken, he succeeds at. So I feel pretty confident that we'll have a first editing and placement of the graphics done in the not too distant future. We're going to get this book finished. And for those of you who have reached out and said, "Hey, I want to be in the first wave of mass tort lawsuits," thank you. And for those of you that said that you'll help us sell the book, that's how we plan on raising the money to file these mass tort lawsuits. These lawsuits don't file themselves, and they're not free. In fact, since we're doing DNA work on each one, they're relatively expensive. So we got to raise the money, and selling books is a great way to do it. And it's a double-edged sword. It's a double whammy. Not only do we raise money to file the mass tort lawsuits, but we get our message out there. We get our wording out there. And so actually the part of the book that I'm working on yesterday, today, tomorrow, and probably a couple more days, is what's on the screen in front of you. And I remember how I felt the first time that I saw this image in front of you. I remember where I was sitting. The first time that I saw this was a very powerful moment. This was an aha moment. Okay, I was struggling with the concept of what in the heck is going on. There's something going on that I hadn't figured out yet. This was probably back in 2019. Yeah, probably 2019. In fact, the image that you're looking at is from 2019, and what you're looking at there. Okay, this is a slide from ASAM. ASAM. You see in the bottom left-hand corner it says ASAM. That is the American Society of Addiction Medicine. Those are the big experts. Okay, those are the grand poobahs. They're the experts. They're the experts responsible for a lot of what has happened happened wrong in this opioid crisis, and this is their big theory, the big brain disease theory of addiction, the dopamine theory of addiction. That all addiction, this is their theory. Okay, this is their theory that all addiction passes through a common channel. That all addiction shares the same highway. That all addiction is related. And according to their brain disease model of addiction, the dopamine theory of addiction, okay, what happens is if something's addictive, when you're exposed to it, when you take it, you get a surge in dopamine in the brain. Okay, this surge in dopamine, supposedly in the reward centers of the brain, and it's so rewarding that it hijacks the brain. And so what you're looking at here, this is from a study from this is their main study. Okay, and there you see it says on the left, drugs elevated dopamine more longer. Okay, drugs, that's not exactly a sentence, not exactly good English. Drugs elevated dopamine more longer. And then you see the four little graphs. Okay, at the top you see amphetamine and cocaine. And then on the bottom you see nicotine and morphine. Okay, by the way, let me point something out to you. You're not supposed to do this. Okay, look at amphetamine. Okay, look at the left-hand side, and it goes 0, 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000%. Okay, all right, now go to the bottom and look at morphine. 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to show charts and change the numbering like that. Okay, in fact, if you took the morphine, okay, and put it on the graph with the amphetamine, you wouldn't even be able to see that supposed little surge in morphine. Okay, it would just disappear. Okay, but regardless, this is their support. This is their scientific evidence for the brain disease model of addiction. This is from a study. Now, I want you to look at the bottom there. This is very important here. Okay, remember this slide is from 2019. Look at the bottom in the middle. Okay, what year was this study done? 1988. 1988. 1988, folks. Okay, they're citing scientific evidence from 1988. Now, why are they citing scientific evidence from back when Ronald Reagan was president? Because all the studies that followed this proved that there is no surge in brain dopamine in response to the opioids. So they're ignoring all the modern scientific evidence. You're not allowed to do that. Okay, what you're seeing on the screen in front of you, as far as the opioids, has been disproven. Okay, it's been disproven. And yet here they are in 2019 presenting it as scientific evidence and not telling the viewer, not telling the audience that there were later studies that disproved this. That's dishonesty, folks. Okay, and this matters because if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you see it says treatment of opioid use disorder course. This is the course physicians had to take in order to use buprenorphine, in order to get their waiver, in order to use buprenorphine, in order to treat people who were caught up in the opioid crisis. Okay, and this is brainwashing. This is brainwashing. That's what this is. This is brainwashing. Okay, and it's immoral, it's unethical, and it's wrong. You can't present 1988 studies and then ignore the later studies. Now, tomorrow we'll look at the two later studies, but we'll hold here for today. We don't like to go over about 7-8 minutes every day. Okay, but you're looking at what caused the opioid crisis. Okay, or at least one of the contributing factors. You're looking at it right here. Okay, this is called dishonesty. This is dishonesty. This is frank dishonesty. It's fraud. Okay, and it's fraud upon physicians like myself, and it's fraud upon the patients such as you. You're looking at fraud. Okay, you can't present 1988 evidence and ignore the fact that the later studies disprove this. Let's hold here for today. My name is Dr. Doug Smith. This is our podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to us. Don't forget to post this podcast on your social media, everybody else's social media, and we'll be back tomorrow. Everybody enjoy your afternoon. Thank you.